Hey everyone! How are we all doing on this beautiful Sunday? Where is my pen? Wait a minute, I know that robot, I know that environment. Yeah! All the work is up there. I'm sorry to leave you guys hanging with no music. I forgot to turn the music source back on. Oh, let's switch this over. There we go, that's better. Hey, Cairo. How's it going? Thought I'd gone deaf. Sorry. Where are my questions? Well, question for this time. Sure that we don't have anything in anonymous like every week. How's everyone doing today? We all doing good? Ben's doing good. That's awesome to hear. Hey, Leon. Oh, Leon is losing his touch. He's no longer the first one. Normally you're always the first, man. What's happening? Whoa. Alright, still trying to figure out like a good setup with like my drawing tablet and my keyboard and all that stuff. Ben took your crown. Oh shit. Oh, I see how it is. Muting the server. Oh man, I can't believe you done this. Why would you do something like that? The pop-ups. Hey, what up, bikes? How's it going? Pop-ups keep interfering with my Substance Painter properties window. Oh, that's interesting. I don't have pop-ups for Discord. I don't think I've ever had them. Can't remember a day when I saw like a Discord pop-up. I can imagine. That can be annoying. Betrayal of the highest order. It's not that bad. We'll survive. Oh, my week has been going good actually. I've been having a lot of fun with the new challenge that we've been doing. The Japanese noodle shop. It's coming along all right. Like I'm having a lot of fun doing the block out at the moment. It's a little bit tricky because I'm recording everything at the moment. So whenever I want to work on it, I have to be tactical if I need to record something with voice or something. So yesterday, for example, I wanted to work on it and I needed to talk about some stuff, but it was already like way too late to talk because we have a small apartment and all that. So I couldn't really work on it. So yeah, I was kind of bummed out by that, but it's a new day, so today we'll be doing like a new recording. Because I got to the point where I worked on all the stuff that was already in the concept. And now I got to a point where I'm adding new stuff, and I want to talk about that process of like how do you look at the world building and look at the world itself and add elements that make sense within within the already established form. So for example, I was looking at robotics, right? Because I had this robotic arm that was going to be serving everyone. But that means that if you think about it and you want to make a noodle shop, that means that that one robot needs to be doing all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the dishes, all that kind of stuff, right? So I'm trying to see how I can automate all of that. I don't know how much is going to be visible in the end, but at least having a hint of that being in there is really important to just establish the world itself. And that, I mean, it just needs to make sense. You can always time-lapse and overdub it though. Yeah, but that's double the work. I mean, I get it, right? Like, I'm probably going to do that for some parts anyway. But yeah, sometimes it's just easier for me as well to just be like really spontaneous about it and just be working and talking at the same time. Because I noticed that's what I tried to do with the grass tutorial, for example. Like I recorded it all, so everything is recorded. I just need to talk over it. And I really hate that progress. I mean that process. So yeah, that's why I'm not gonna do it this time. I'm gonna try and streamline it a little bit. Are you going to release those videos? In the beginning, I'm definitely going to release them, for sure. I just don't know what form under yet. Because in the beginning I was thinking that it was just like a weekly thing on the Patreon or something, right? But I'm thinking that it would be kind of interesting to maybe do it as a course. Just have it like as like one long course where I take you from beginning to end or something. That could be interesting. Oh, also, if you see me sniffling and like teary-eyed, hay fever's hitting. Hay fever season is here, so gonna be sniffling and sneezing a bit. Cyberpunking it up. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna do like a little bit of a spin on it though. Like I don't want to go like fully colorful cyberpunk, but I wanna have like an offset in the world. Like I wanna contrast these like really colorful elements to like a really downtrodden surrounding. So let's have a look. Maybe I can bring it up quickly. That would be interesting. Let's have a look here. Where's my ref? Then if we just quickly do this. Okay, there we go. So in the beginning I was thinking more about like the stereotypical cyberpunk thing here, right? Just like lots of neon, lots of colors, but I want to see if I can combine it with surroundings like this, like more monotone colors. And when I say surroundings, the surroundings are going to be super simple, right? It's just going to be cube shapes and a lot of cables. Basically like this. It's not going to be super fancy. But yeah, I'll see where the combination of the two brings us. It's going to be an interesting one. All right. But before we dive into all of that stuff, I mean, we're not going to be diving into it anyway. Like, it's going to be a part of the whole video series that I will be releasing at some point. Don't know when, don't know how, but I'll keep you guys up to date. So, take a sip of water and then dive into the first question. Also, first and only question, by the way. Let's have a look. We got some work in progress images though, which are going to be really nice. Just do like a quick overpaint of them. Throw out some suggestions. Okay, let's have a look. So, Where is that question? There we go. Leon, thanks for the question, buddy. When you first started out in the industry, what did not meet your expectations you had for the job? Oh god. The first one that really comes to mind is I mean the salary. Just honestly, I'm trying to be as open as possible, right? But there's a few caveats to that. So I was really stupid in the beginning because I was looking at all the American wages and I was looking at numbers like, what is it? Like 50K, 60K, something like that for like a beginner, right? And then once I joined the industry as a graduate, no, not as a graduate, an intern before I was a graduate, I entered the industry on like 17K. So, I mean, I was happy nonetheless, don't get me wrong, because I was just happy to get into the industry and getting a job and all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, that definitely did not meet my expectations, right? So, first big caveat is definitely I needed to look at the UK numbers, right? That would definitely prepare me way better for those kind of surprises. That's what I tell other people to do now as well. Don't only look at the, I mean, if you're gonna be working in like Eastern Europe, don't look at the UK prices, right? You need to look at the location that you're actually gonna be working at or thinking about working at. So that was the first big thing. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else to do with just like the compensation. I mean, yeah, I'm thinking that every other aspect of just getting into the industry when it comes to compensation and move-in and all that stuff was always super interesting to me. Yeah, exactly, Raj. That's a good one to bring up. Glassdoor is usually pretty good for that kind of stuff. Exactly. But I was just looking at Glassdoor from America, right? At that point, I think I was just looking at Bethesda. Bethesda was like my dream studio at that point. So I was like, look, I'm just gonna focus on that one studio. And I mean, that's where I went and did all my research for just that one specific studio. And then maybe some other studios in the same vicinity, right? But I wasn't smart enough to also look for more realistic places, like the UK, for example. Because you also have to think, in that case, they're not... I mean, the chances are highly unlikely that as an artist, you'll be moving straight to America from the get-go. Because there's so many people trying to get into the industry, especially right now, that they can easily pick someone that's from America already, and they don't have to worry about like all the visa processes and like all the stuff that comes to look with that, right? Like helping you move, making sure that all your paperwork is in order. That's, if we're talking about those situations, it's highly likely that those are reserved for people that have more experience in the industry. I mean, we're generalizing, right? So I'm always generalizing. So take this, that I'm trying to, when I give advice here, it's aimed for like the biggest audience possible. Does that mean that you can make it? Sure, you can. There's probably people that I can think of that would have made that jump as well, but it's highly unlikely. Ben has a question for that too. Did they help you move? Let's have a think. With the move, I don't think so. With the move itself, definitely not. I'm thinking maybe they helped with apartment search, but it's been a while. So the move I had to do on my own, maybe they helped out with apartment search because there's with like these companies, there's like a lot of international people. So usually what they'll do is just send out an email or like a message to everyone internally. And then maybe if someone just recently moved into like a shared apartment or something and they have a space open, they will send that to you too as an option. But I think if I remember correctly, I had to look for an apartment myself, which was really interesting from abroad. Just being abroad, like apartment hunting. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that differently the next time as well. Like make sure that we can explore the city a bit, make sure that we can at least get a feeling of the housing market and how expensive or cheap it is before we make that final decision. Because especially in the beginning, I was just worried about getting into the industry. That wasn't my main focus. I wasn't really thinking too much about the money. Yeah. Let's have a think about what else, right? What did not meet your expectations? I'm trying to put myself into a mindset from being there the first time, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that I probably think about now that I'm like, oof, that definitely did not meet expectations. But I'm trying to put myself into a mindset where I'm that junior again, where I'm just that person breaking into the industry. And looking at it through that lens, there's honestly not that much. Like even in the community channel, it got mentioned like work-life balance. I had 0 issues with work-life balance. Like Frontier, that's the company that I started at, right? I've mentioned this 1,000 times before, so it's not a secret anymore. Work-life balance was amazing there. Like they really look out for you. I never had to do overtime. And the one time, this is the thing, like the one time that I did it was I went in on a Saturday because there was a big deadline and another person of the team had to finish up some stuff. And I was like, yeah, I got nothing to do anyway. Like I'm just going to be sitting inside my room otherwise, so I'll just come in and do some work while he was working on his stuff too. But obviously yeah, it depends on how you define that, right? Because I've always enjoyed working after work, like on my personal work, right? Like not working for the company, but like doing personal work. Let's make sure that is out there. Like once I did my hours at the job, I'm done, and then I do personal work. So yeah, I never personally had issues with work-life balance. Yeah, I'm trying to think back. Did not meet expectations. Did the fruits in the basket meet your expectations? Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't think we had fruit. Did we? Oh god. We had biscuits and we had like cookies and all that kind of stuff, but I don't think we had fruit. And obviously lots of tea, right? Just joining the UK. Yeah, I think I think this was before everyone is just going freaking nuts. But I think this was before the whole, hey, you get free fruit. I think that was before that time when it became such a big, what is it? Like a big bonus of joining the industry. Right now, that's in every application, right? Like free fruit delivery and all that. Yeah. Maybe we had some, but maybe I didn't care. Could also be the case. I was like, who needs fruit? Come on. I'm healthy enough. Typical young mindset, right? Blasphemous. Yeah, but I don't know. Like if we think back at the original question, like we got some people in the industry here as well, right? In chat. What was it for you? What did not meet the expectation you had for the job? What was something what was something that you struggled with, or like, well, did not meet your expectations? It's yeah, it's a tricky one. Oh, maybe while everyone thinks about what they can say in chat, like there's one thing that I brought up like a couple of times as well. And I always wanted to be on Elite Dangerous, right? I was like, yeah, I wanna get onto that game. And then when I joined, they put me on Planet Coaster. So I guess that did not meet my expectations for the job. I mean, it was discussed before, right? It was discussed when I was going through the hiring process that I wouldn't be working on a sci-fi game, but something else. So I guess that did not meet my expectations, but looking back at it, it's probably for the best. I honestly really enjoyed working on Planet Coaster. Scott, could you not switch? I probably could have. Like when Planet Coaster ramped down, I probably could have switched. There was probably like an opportunity to just voice my opinion and say like, hey, look, I want to switch. Is there like an opening there that I can switch to? But I had so much fun working on Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo and all that stuff that I just didn't feel the need anymore after that. Oh, Cairo mentions that it's a lot more self-autonomous than you thought. I thought you got concepts for everything and worked off of that, but there's an aspect of just go free with it that I didn't expect. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, that's a... I'm trying to think back, right? Like how did I feel about it back then? Because I think at that point I didn't even know what the hell was gonna happen. Like I had no clue whatsoever. But yeah, I can see that happening. Where I mean, yeah, in like the day-to-day basis, we do get concepts, right? So we do get concepts provided, but then even when you get a concept, there's like the opportunity and like the option to, as a 3D environment artist, to improve on that and have a conversation with the concept artist and be like, hey, look, what inspired you here? Maybe we can do something like this, right? It's not maybe opening that topic a bit more up is just, it's not as rigid as you perceive it from the outside. Like it's more like a dynamic, creative conversation that can happen as well. There obviously are times where you just get a concept and you just have to get it done because of timelines and production and some of those reasons, right? That definitely happens. But there's also times when you can experiment a little bit and like try some stuff and like work together with other people to maybe elevate it from like its original. Yeah, that's a good point. Thanks for bringing that up, man. All right. Some stuff over. Yeah, thanks so much for the question as well, Leon. I appreciate it. Always coming in with the good shit. Should we move over to the overpaints then? I think we do. So let me just do this. Just have my webcam for a sec. Let's just take this in while I blow my nose. Thanks for all the insights. Oh, no worries, Leon. Happy to help. And it's also really good that you come up with these really interesting questions, because it's like, it's almost like a retrospective of of my career. So I appreciate it, man. I really do. Could be why you're dealing with hay fever. Oh, because I didn't eat fruit. Could be. Could definitely be. Who knows? Alright. Where's my pen again? God damn it, I keep chucking my pen away. There we go. Let's grab... Where's my drawing tool? There we go. Whoop. Look at that sexy sword, such a beautiful scene. Exactly. It is a beautiful scene. First of all, Cairo, really nice job. I want to see all the other images too, but I know you're waiting for the big drop to happen. This is the second iteration from when we saw it posted yesterday, right? And I think you already did a good job with blurring the background a little bit. That's really good, because that was the main thing I was going to suggest, is the separation of the foreground and like the background, right? Like we're trying to separate the two, especially with this nice sword in the middle that's pulling all the attention. So what you can probably try out is maybe lighting this up a little bit more, highlighting the silhouette, maybe with like a rim light or something. Like you kind of have that here. It would be kind of nice to maybe slightly accentuate this side of the sword as well, with like a blue rim light, something you could try. And then maybe, yeah, I'm still feeling that we need to separate the background a little bit, especially where around these sections where it becomes like really noisy, right? Where there's like a lot of detail. I wonder if there's a way that we can have fog or something, like a slight haze here, like in these sections, just to extra accentuate the piece in the middle. And then also one thing that I noticed, also feel free to comment on this, everyone, especially Cairo, if you have like any thoughts about it too. And then one thing that really stood out to me, and this is probably going to be a pain for you, but just the grass at this close range, it's so polygonal that we do want to add like some more edges here, because especially from this point you can really see that they're just like really hard edge polygon things, right? Especially on stuff like this. Like the straighter ones are fine. It's more the ones that really bend over like a lot. You can really see like the edginess of it. So for like a cinematic shot, because this is basically what this is, right? This is a cinematic shot. For cinematic shots, usually what happens in the games industry as well, and I'm sure that you know this as well, Cairo, is they have like specific cinematic meshes, which are way more dense than the other pieces of grass. So just purely for this shot, just smooth it out a little bit, and then you're good to go. You could even have it as like a temporary thing, right? So because it might be a hassle to replace all of this and like repaint it, So instead of doing that, just update this mesh for like update this specific mesh for the grass with just like a higher poly count. Take a render of this and then just reduce it again, or like revert it to its previous version. Could also work, but you got to make sure that it's the final thing then. Yeah, but this is cool though. This is cool. Yesterday I was thinking that the colors were taking up a lot of attention, but when you blurred it right now, like with just the blurriness that's going on in the background, I think it's really good. Nice silhouettes. This is also a cool touch. Just like the blood on the flower. Really nicely done. Yeah, I don't think it needs too much. Just like a little bit more separation between like these layers, right? Then doing like the update to the grass, and then adding like a little bit of like a highlight here to make this blade stand a bit more out. Hey Pame, how's it going? So yeah, I got lots on the grass, so I could just update LOD 0. Yep, exactly. That's a good shout. I agree with the blue rim light. Time for hero grass. Exact. Okay, cool. Yeah, but I think it's just small stuff like that, Cairo. It doesn't need too much, right? Because the rest of it looks freaking awesome. If we're just gonna look at the rest of the scene, it's kind of stereotypical, but it always works, and that's why you see it so much, right? Blue and orange work so nice. These colors together always work really nice, the contrast between them. That's also why I suggested this, because you have this nice orange rim, and then if you have like a slight blue rim, you don't want to overdo it. Just like something really subtle here. It's gonna be nice. Classic. Exactly. But there's a reason why it works, right? Nothing bad about it. Awesome. Oh man, I'm so excited to see this, to see all the shots. And are you gonna do a video for this as well? Like a fly-through? I don't know if you have the characters animated or not, because that might impact if you're gonna do like a fly-through or not, right? Got a cinematic plan. Okay, cool. Damn, that's gonna be awesome. Shit, man, I'm looking forward to it. And also, thanks so much for submitting this, right? I appreciate it, man. All right. And then we move on to the next one. Whoop, let me close that. Let me just reopen it. This one is from Raj. Yeah, let's take this scene in first. It's cool, man. So good. Exactly. Lots of nice foliage work. I want Raj Ivy workflow. Speed Tree Master. Yeah. This is looking really, really nice. Let's have a look, right? Because you had like a specific question. So feedback on more specifically the foreground elements, please. Wondering how I can make it a bit more interesting. Let me know if you have any thoughts. Okay. Cool. Let's have a look at that. So let's start with the foreground elements first, right? Before we dive into like some more generic feedback. What I would probably do is try to do something more with these inscriptions. Like I kind of want to see if that is like an alien language or something, right? Like a robotic language. Maybe have them on like these pillars, or maybe have them on like separate pedestals, right? Where I don't know, I was kind of thinking that each pillar can represent like one of the I don't know how you would say it, like elements or something, right? I'm sort of looking at it through like a religion or like a belief with for this species, right? So I don't know. This is like, what can I think of on the fly? Like neutrons or something, right? So like you have like this neutron symbol here, and then this is one for like positrons or whatever, right? Sort of making it like more embedded, like continuing this language here throughout some of the pillars. That could be interesting. And then what I was thinking is that depends on how far you want to go, right? For foreground elements, you could have like, I don't know, like a tablet or something here. That's also like overgrown as well, right? Just has like lots of foliage grown over it. But it still reveals like smaller encryptions. Something like that could be cool. And then you don't have to do like all these tablets for like every pillar, right? You could have like a tablet that is just like lying down here. Oop. And then you could have like a tablet that's maybe like broken or collapsed and is just lying on the side of it. Same for here. You could have one that is almost like completely overgrown, so you can't read the inscriptions, because these inscriptions can take a lot of time too, right? So I'm not trying to get the most bang for your buck, basically. So this can be one that's like really overgrown and you can't really read the inscriptions unless like the top row or something, right? Because that's the thing that I'm thinking about now, is making this more of like what is it, like we're doing world building here, right? Inscriptions in binary, that could be a cool idea. Yeah, that would be cool. And that's also pretty simple too. That's like a win-win right there. But yeah, the reason why I'm doing all this is because this is such a really nice and unique element of the scene, right? It gives this so much background. It gives this so much yeah, like background information. Like there's something. This was like in reverence to this like main, almost like robotic god almost, right? So we can sort of dress it up like a temple in that way. So that could be cool. And then you have like some interesting foreground elements to play with here. This was brought up by people in the community as well. The straightness of the grass. That's definitely like a small thing to work with, but maybe also defining more of a path towards the final piece, because this helps with just the readability of the framing as well, where you can have grass growing here, you can have grass growing here, but then there's like this path that you create and then goes up to the stairs. You did that really well in your last piece, by the way, where you really where you directed the viewer with like the layers of grass and also the layers of fog. That was really nice, the way that you did that. So just continue that here, I would say. So this could be all grass. And this is like a nice patch of grass as well. And then you have like this dirt trail going between. Oh. And leading up to this thing. Yeah, slabs could be cool as well. Because the slabs could maybe help with defining where the grass grows and doesn't grow, right? It's like you have some slabs here, so might as well reuse them a little bit more and have them, I don't know, on the path itself. That could be interesting. You gotta watch out with adding too much though, because what this path is also doing, if you keep it pretty clean, then the contrast between the high density here with the grass and the low density of the path is going to help with the readability of the space. Well, yeah, I think I'll just carry on with some stuff I learned in the last one and apply it to this one. Yeah, for sure. Exact. Like if it was a temple, the ground would be stone at one point maybe. Reveal some of the old ground underneath the soil. Yeah, there's some nice blending that you can do with that. Yeah, man, this is cool. I like this. I'm just going back to like the inscriptions, right? Because the thing that I'm also thinking is that just looking at the composition and how much you actually need. Because you don't need that much. Like slight inscriptions here. Maybe as a decal, you could just have like some symbols. The symbols for I don't know, they can just be random, right? But then, because I think what is really cool with this, and if we zoom out from just like this one piece, I know that you're doing this. I mean, you definitely like robotics, right? And these robots are like the world that you're building. So I would try to treat them in that way. That these symbols, if you design them in the right way, you just reuse them in like other scenes that you're going to be building. And then you slowly start building the kit for this unique world that is yours, right? So the next scene that you're going to be building, if it's gonna have the same inspiration and like the same references as this, you can just reuse stuff all over the place, which is gonna make you speed up your workflow in general as well, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Raj likes robots. How can you tell? I don't know, just an educated guess. Oh, also, Raj, I have a question for you. I know that you can't see it in the frame, but you had a robot hidden behind here, right? Are you still going to be using that, or is that scrap? Because the reason why I ask is maybe if you're still going to do that robot, you can, I don't know, you could just put him against like these pillars or something, right? Be a second beauty shot with a bot. Oh, okay. Maybe in that case, I would not spread it in the scene. And just keep it as like its own separate thing. it depends on what kind of story that you want to tell with that, right? Oh, there's a bud coming. That's not a bad idea, maybe, to add others or to hint it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, it depends on what kind of story that you want to tell. For example, if you're trying to hint at something bigger, like this was, I don't know, the last thing that the civilization did to like go to the shrine and to pray to their robotic god for help or something, right? Then I would add more. But if you want to tell like a different story, and maybe you want to tell something about like this was like a shrine of the ancients, and this robot made like a pilgrimage. Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's a pilgrimage. Exactly. Then you can have like the single robot that maybe set up camp, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe that's a rite of passage, right? Ben guessed. Damn it, Ben. It's almost a place of healing, or a place where the boss can go for injured just some hope. Yeah, exactly. So in that case, I would probably, instead of having like a bunch of, I don't know, like destroyed ones, or like, I don't know, scatter them in the scene, I would probably keep it more towards like this place of healing. Because if you look at the complete frame as well, right, you have these god rays, and then everything feels like really light and really fresh, which also reinforces like this healing ritual, right? This is not like a dark temple that got lost. Like, this is not like the dying breath of like a civilization, right? It doesn't feel like that from just the colors and the mood. So that's a good idea. What I would probably maybe think about in that case, have like a slight hint of like a camp being set up or something, right? So that, I don't know, like this robot brought its tent to just like stay safe from the rain or something, so that you can kind of see that there's something there. Maybe it could be interesting, but then you would have to think about what does a robot tent look like, right? But that could be cool, just like a hint, like an indication that someone's staying here. That could be interesting. Yeah, cool stuff, man. I like this scene. It's coming along really nicely. Yeah. Some USB plugs in the pillars. It depends on what kind of technology they have, right? Just imagine that these futuristic robots still have like USB 1 cables, and they need to wait there for like, I don't know, like 2 days before they're fully recharged. Feedback was really cool. Yeah, no worries, man. Happy to help. I think, well, this is the thing, right? This is already like such a solid scene that the main topic is just like the world building behind it, and just how you can reinforce that and build on it with like future scenes as well. So yeah, really cool stuff, man. I like this scene a lot. Solved a few of my issues. All right, cool. That's awesome. It's always interesting doing these on the fly, because you never know. Like in the first minute, you're just taking it in, and it's like, okay, what are we gonna do here? What is the priority? But I really appreciate you sending in these scenes as well. It's really, I mean, it's really cool for me. It's also interesting for other people to see, like the thinking behind it, right? Like when I'm thinking about world building, or when I'm thinking about like how to improve a scene, I'm most of the time just approaching it from like a world building or like a logic perspective. When I'm like, okay, like what is this space used for? Like what is this space trying to tell? It's not about like, oh, this prop needs to be improved. Like that's almost like secondary. Like it's you're building a world, right, with these scenes, and that's the thing that I love to focus on. Telling a story. Exactly. All right, cool. Oh, I'm so excited to see this come together. Such a cool scene, Raj. Activating the hive mind to get ideas. I mean, this is also what is cool, right? Like we were discussing this on the fly, and then I'm also looking at the chat, and then we get ideas from each other as well. So like the binary thing that you brought up, Scott, could be like a really cool idea. I would probably think about that and at least try it out. And this is also, I don't know, this is also what's so fun about being in a community like this, right? And being able to discuss this and throw ideas to each other, and then it's never a monologue. It's always like, look, I have this idea, and then even all the stuff that I said today to Raj, for example, like all the feedback, like he's not going to take that one-to-one. He's going to be like, oh, that could be cool, but what if I do this on top of that, right? That's what's so cool about just being able to like spit ideas to each other. And yeah, I mean, it's so nice about discussing this. Love the ideas of inscriptions to make it more religious. Could be a nice way to start implementing into my future bots or scenes. Yeah, exactly. Because what I like about your work and the transition that you're making right now is that you went from smaller bots to define the language from one robot, right? Like how does a robot for a different emotion, how is that gonna look? There's consistency between them. So that is sort of solving the design language, which is good. And then now you're taking that into like the next step, where you're implementing these robots and building them into the world that you could be building. And you can do so much cool stuff with that. You can have these robots like go into this old shrine, right? You can also, I mean, you can do so much stuff with this. It's cool. Like this old shrine is one example. You can also do like how do they eat? Like how do they socialize, right? Like just thinking about like one of those aspects, like how do these robots like have a society? Like what makes their society better or like different from what we have as a society? And how is that going to be portrayed? You can do like really small dioramas for that. Or you can do really big scenes like this. Like so many options within that. So yeah, really cool stuff. Do the work in progress have to be environments? Yeah, it depends, right? Because I know that you're asking for, well, it's highly likely that you might be asking for weapons. And with normal props, like for example, the stuff that Ben did, like the mechanical stuff, I can sort of help out. But if we go in like highly specific stuff like weapons, I definitely want to give it a try, but I'm not a weapon artist, right? Just I would love to discuss it for sure, but just keep it in mind that I'm not a weapon artist. Just throw it in there. And then if I don't have anything to add, then that's fine too, right? All right, cool. This was awesome, people. I'm going to be heading out. I'm going to be taking a little break and then doing a bit of personal work, doing a bit of recording too. So this was awesome, people. It was amazing to have you all here, spitting good ideas back and forth, having a nice discussion as always. And then, yeah, for the people that have just tuned in, feel free to drop your work in progress in the AMA question chat as well on the Discord, and then we can have like an overpaint session and discuss potential for your scene. So feel free to do that, because this is going to be like an ongoing thing for the next sessions. Like after we discuss the questions, we're going to be diving into some feedback. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks all for being here, and have a nice Sunday. See you, everyone.